What was the question about Islam I was afraid to ask before reverting? Now, a little quick backstory. I was born Muslim, but I was never religious. I grew up born and raised in New York, so I was never religious. And I practiced my religion as much as my parents made me, but nothing more than that. I didn't even really, when I was really young, I believed it. And then I lost faith. And then I just sort of forgot about religion altogether. I wasn't even thinking about whether it was real or not. I just didn't care. It wasn't anywhere near my mind. And I think that's a common story amongst people born Muslim in Western countries or non-Muslim countries overall. And just Gen Z in general. I think before I'd say before 2017, 2016, religion wasn't even a mainstream topic, and now it is. I'm not saying people became more religious. I'm just saying it became more mainstream of a topic to talk about in media, online, and etc. I hear a lot of common stories about people not even caring about their religion until age 18, 19, 20, 21. It kind of adds up because a lot of people have existential crises around that time period, including myself, which leads you to start thinking about your afterlife, right? But let's get to the thing I was afraid to ask, and that's if Islam was true. And you're going to have to watch the entire video because I'm going to be slowly answering it throughout the whole video, so just to kind of absorb. But the question I was afraid to ask is, and this is just one of the questions, it's that why was I born into a Muslim family and other people weren't, right? And I know you might be thinking, why would I be afraid to ask that question? And I was afraid to ask that question, because it kind of makes you think, why, it's so much easier for me being born Muslim. It's so much more comfortable. Is that unfair? Does that mean, but then, I started to research, learn more, and I was asking myself this question maybe a few years ago, not really recently, but a few years ago. And I recently reverted maybe in the last couple months, 2, 3, 4 months. It was a progression though. But then I started thinking to myself, why would God put different people in different environments if the message is believe in one God, and the message is Islam, and the last prophet is Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, then why am I being born in a Muslim family and someone probably has never even seen him? I'm not, that's just an example. I'm just picking a random one. But maybe somewhere out there has never even met a Muslim, let alone heard the message of what Islam is, right? And I think that Judgment Day is contingent on hearing the message. So if you didn't hear the message, you got a different test on Judgment Day, right? And that's the thing. It's a different test. So what I understood was that different test means there was a original test in the first place. And that original test is our life from cradle to the grave, right? So from the cradle to the grave, we're tested in many different ways. So that could be a test. And I know, we've all been tested in different ways, right? If you're born in, and I'll give you an example. I have a close friend of mine who's born Hindu, is still Hindu. I've been debating with him for the last, couple weeks to a month, and kind of understand, his perspective of why he believes Hinduism, right? Why he believes that's the true religion. And listening to him speak about it, being born into it, you need to know something, right? So I'm just asking him questions, right? Why do you believe in it? Why do you believe? So he starts picking and choosing. I believe in this part, or this is his words, right? I believe in this part, but not that. He doesn't believe in the caste system, but he believes in, I guess, like one God, but in multiple kind of like manifestations, I guess, in like different departments of life, right? And I'm just like, okay, so you're picking and choosing parts of your religion? That doesn't make any sense, right? If it's God's revelation, then I don't think you can pick and choose. That's where a little bit of my ignorance comes in, because to my knowledge, Hinduism isn't really similar. And I love everyone, right? Respect to all religions. I love everyone. But I don't think Hinduism is the same exact... It's like comparing apples to oranges, Hinduism to any of the Abrahamic religions, right? Not even just like the belief system, but more so that they're more of it's more of it's in a way a philosophy and a religion, and they're very open-minded and to knowledge, right? So, but that can also be harmful in a sense where knowledge of different religions, let's say, of being open-minded for the truth of Islam and Judaism, but these two religions contradict in some areas. So it's really hard to kind of be a student of everything in this scenario, in this case. But I digress, right? So why? And then I'm talking to him, and I'm thinking, like, why is he like, so this is where I really understood the test, right? Someone like me who's kind of like, I'm not saying I'm an expert, but I'm pretty knowledgeable about the basics of Islam. I'm explaining to him why Islam is the correct way versus Hinduism, in my opinion. Obviously, I'm not pushing him, I'm not forcing him, I'm not, he can believe what he wants to believe. I just, as a close friend, we have these debates or conversations, and nothing negative. We still love each other throughout the whole conversation and debate. That's not the issue. And he really couldn't explain to me why. Like, I think it was resonating with him what I was saying. He said there's one God, and he believed that Prophet Muhammad could have been the last messenger, right? Even after I gave him proof and evidences, regardless of if he has to fact check them or not. Let's say he takes them at face value, he still wouldn't change religions. First, he said he didn't want to subscribe to something. So that's the difference. That's where philosophy versus religion comes into play, because philosophy, you can pick and choose what you like and what you don't like, right? Religion is not really like that. Religion is, you listen to God and what he taught you, because God knows more than you, right? So if you're picking and choosing, you're kind of indirectly saying, and sort of directly saying, you know more than God. But obviously you do not, right? And I do not, and no one does. No human does. Or nothing, no one does know more than God, right? Nothing knows more than God. So so I guess his test in this scenario was his close friend from childhood just slowly learned the truth, and he's presenting it to his friend, and he's not I told him about Judgment Day. I told him about all that. I think he's looking at it more like, it's a cool way to kind of live through life, and it helps you live life and stuff, and makes you live a better life. And I'm trying to explain to him that's part of it, but you need religion as a sort of understanding and